On the morning of the 6th of January 2025, at 11:15 a.m., a man named David Morrow was enjoying the view of the Pacific Ocean, sitting on his balcony. As usual, it was a normal day. Meanwhile, he saw a fire with flaming sparks on the hills of the Pacific Palisades, about 5 miles away from his apartment. Fire. In just an hour, the fire spread so much that smoke covered the mountain. In a satellite view, this fire was first reported on the mountains of the Palisades, but a few hours later, it spread to the areas of Eaton, Hearst, Kenneth, Getty, Skirball, and San Fernando. The moment this fire started, the winds were blowing at 100 kilometers per hour, which were blowing in the direction of the ocean. Now the question is, if the first fire was in the Palisades, which is very close to the ocean, then how did the fire spread in the opposite direction of the wind, 30 to 40 kilometers away? Welcome to Zen TV's videos. Viewers, this fire has destroyed a total of 38,000 acres, or 150 square kilometers of area. More than 12,000 buildings and houses have been destroyed, and 180,000 people have left their homes, which has not been completely extinguished during the production of this video. Every possible attempt to extinguish the fire is failing. Water bombers are throwing 45,000 liters of water at a time, which is equivalent to a few drops in front of this fire. Special chemicals are also being thrown with the help of water bombers, but all the effort is being seen to be in vain in front of nature. California, where there is a shortage of water than before, due to which often the fire hydrants were empty. Also, due to the spread in different areas, firefighters and their equipment were also divided. And on top of that, when the winds of 70 to 100 kilometers per hour fell on the fire, this fire started to flare up even more. Los Angeles wildfires are a hot spot in California. California has been a hot spot for wildfires for 25 years. In 2003, Cedar Fire in San Diego County set fire to 273,000 acres. The fire that started on the 25th of October killed on the 4th of November 2003. In 2017, Tubbs Fire burned 36,000 acres, and this took place in the month of October. Again in 2017, Thomas Fire created 280,000 acres of ash. This fire started in December and ended on the 25th of November 2017. In 2020, Glass Fire attacked 67,000 acres and ended in September and October. If we look at the dates of all these wildfires, one thing is very common in them. Winters, that is, these wildfires have been in place since centuries. And now, Los Angeles wildfire is also in peak winters. So, what is the reason that in the history of California, most of the wildfires have been in place only in winters? The answer to this question is hidden in a phenomenon which is called Santa Ana winds. Yes, Santa Ana winds. Yes, Santa Ana winds are hot and dry winds that blow through Southern California and Baja California, especially during autumn and winters. If you look at Google Earth, far, far east of California, there is only desert, which is also called Mojave Desert or Great Basin. Sunlight warms the desert, which causes the air pressure to rise. On the other hand, the ocean is cold and has low pressure. We learned in 6th grade that the air travels from high pressure to low pressure. The more pressure there is, the faster the air travels. And this is what happens here. Santa Ana winds from southeast California move fast towards the ocean. This dry and hot air sucks moisture from wherever it passes, which causes the entire region to dry up in this weather. Trees and bushes are completely dried up, which become very easy to catch fire, where wildfires turn the entire forest into a fuel for wildfires. And if there is an accidental fire, the strong winds make the fire even more intense. The burning coal spreads rapidly, and as soon as the spike flashes, the wildfire is out of control. Now, the direction in which the wind is blowing, the wildfire should spread in the same direction. But in the case of Los Angeles, it was seen the other way around. The first fire was seen near the Palisades, which is close to the ocean, and then it spread to inland areas. To understand the real reason for this, we have to understand an interesting phenomenon, which is called the windward side. And the other side of the mountain where the wind is supposed to go is called the leeward side. When the windward side stops the wind, a vortex effect is created on the leeward side. And in this vortex, the wind below the mountain is the other way. This phenomenon also plays a big role in the case of Los Angeles. The first place where the fire was reported was the leeward side. And here, due to the mountain wave rotor, the wind was generated in the opposite direction below the peak of the mountain, which became the biggest reason for spreading the fire in inland areas. And areas, it is like a tornado, but it has only fire and heat. The unbelievable heat generated by wildfire immediately heats the air around it and pulls it up. Due to the heat, the hot air rises very quickly, and cold air comes from below to fill that place, creates a rotational motion that pulls the nearby dry bushes into a fire tornado and makes the vortex even more terrifying. Now this fire tornado overpowers the wind in the area and starts creating its own wind inside itself, which is very difficult to estimate the direction. But most of the time, it will increase the wildfire. Wildfire is a reality, and due to climate change, it will be more frequently seen in the coming years. America also has the latest technology to control wildfires. First of all, infrared cameras take the real-time data of the fire. Satellites help in monitoring the size and location of the fire. Today, artificial intelligence helps in predicting the direction of the fire. And then, all this information is sent to the firefighters. Firefighters try to spray chemicals around the fire does not spread. But in Los Angeles, firefighters used to control the fire in one area, so that the fire spread to the other area through the air. In the history of America, the first recorded wildfire was in 1871 near Michigan. In this wildfire, 12 lakh acres of ash were seen, and 2,500 lives were lost. The past is gone. From the 1871 Pestigo fire to the Los Angeles wildfire, nature is pointing us to the fact that it is still almost impossible to control fire. But if we try to understand nature, and instead of fighting climate change, try to follow its lead, then maybe the wildfires will stop again. To the world,